Hey everybody, welcome back to this episode, a very special episode of Darkhawk Talk. We're going to be going over issue 5 today, first appearance of Portal. But not only that, it's the first appearance of my wife on Darkhawk Talk. Say hi to everybody on YouTube, Alexa.
Hey everyone.
Hey, so little disclaimer, she knows nothing, like nothing about Darkhawk. Little to nothing about Marvel characters outside of the Marvel U. So we'll be going through. She'll be chiming in with, like a regular person on the street, like what they would have to say if they saw Darkhawk. So it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens, but hopefully we don't dovetail off into too many tangents. But we'll be going through issue 5 today. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So starting off, starts right here at the front page. We got a question: Who is Portal? Why is he wearing Darkhawk's armor? He's got a similar helmet, but he's also got the atypical '90s BFG, big fucking guns. What that stands for. He also has a lot of pouches, some shoulder pads. He's really all 90'd out. So, if you remember from last issue, it left on a cliffhanger where Chris, in Darkhawk's body, looked in a mirror. He took off his helmet and he discovered that he was horribly ugly underneath. And this is Chris reacting to that. No, he's really upset by all this, right?
But he could just go back to his regular self.
Well, he doesn't really know how it works yet. So like he's got a beginning of a clue that they're like two different bodies, but not like he doesn't have it hammered down. This is only issue 5, and so he's fucking pissed. Punches a hole in the wall, smacks his dresser, flips the dresser drawers, busts up his curtains over here, and then he puts the sheet over his head. What I saw under my helmet, it can't be. Don't let it be. He's really upset about this. And then he's got to calm down, get a grip. He's not like he's trapped as Darkhawk or anything. So like you said, he remembers that he can go back and forth. So pops his helmet back on, and then a knock at his door, and sure enough, it's his. Well, we'll find out who it is, but it's at his house. So it's his two brothers, Jason and Jonathan. Those are his two younger brothers. Chris is kind of like the man of the house. That's his mom, Grace. She's the district attorney for the New York City, and they're prosecuting this mafia guy named Philip Basin. And the dad, long story short, he was found to be corrupt, kind of, but we'll figure out more into that later. And then the dad kind of took off and just left Chris and his 3 kids and his wife alone to deal with this whole mafia thing. So, yeah, dad be your material.
Yep.
So, anyways, Chris bails, and you see this ominous-looking dude smoking out here. Is the kid? He made me. I've lost the element of surprise. Got to reschedule.
So obviously mafia guy.
Yeah. What does he have to reschedule? The hit on his mother. So he's gonna kill Grace Powell, as noted by the picture in the gun right there. So, anyways, Chris, he takes off to the fairgrounds, which is just like on the other side of the street from where they live. It's like an old demolished. It's where he found the amulet way back in issue 1, right? So
I watched that one, but I watched the others.
Yeah, you better watch them all. Yeah, he's looking for Saint Johnny, trying to find some answers, and then he pops out from the shadows. Yeah, I'm looking for you. You must know something. You were the one who first talked about a quote Darkhawk back in issue 1. Saint Johnny's telling him to take it easy. Yeah, I knew the last guy. Maybe I'll stick around for the new one if he's up to the job. And then some weird dialogue. Bag the Zen master routine, Johnny, and give me some answers. He talks about how he's drunk. He's not really giving any straight answers. He gives some vague answer. Just tell me what's under the face mask. It's the face we all deserve. No one escapes that reality. Super vague. It doesn't give you any answers. And then Jess says a Darkhawk, and then turns around. He's gone. Yeah, like you'll figure this dude plays in a lot later on to the series, but nothing much for now. So the next day, that Manhattan's Museum of Natural History. I've never been there. Looks pretty nice though. They got some whales you can see over here. Grace decided to bring her kids there, and so she. This doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So the guy didn't want to do the hit at Grace's or the Powell's house because Chris walked outside, but he literally walks up into the middle of a natural history museum and attempts to shoot Grace Powell. No, leaps into action. Shot goes off. He, tries to wrestle a gun. I don't think a gun makes that noise, but whatever. And oh snap! Chris is shot in the leg.
It has a silencer, so it is.
Oh, you're right. It's still the shoot. Now, but Chris, you're bleeding. It's nothing. He's mad. He decides to go chase after the guy. Not, of course, before he turns into Darkhawk. He's surging with power, as we all are. And so he goes after the guy. He follows him using his enhanced vision and his grappling claw, and he goes after him. And then he chases the dude down. And then all of a sudden, you get this little DNA virus-looking thing, and it's a portal. And sure enough, it is the character portal, as seen from the cover. He's got a very similar Darkhawk helmet, the big gun, the pouches, but you notice he's missing. There's a lack of an amulet there. A little bit of a mystery as to where it came from. So, Earth at last, I can sense it. I'm home. Portal is home.
I'm just confused why he's like half gold and half.
Yeah. Well, so you find that he's kind of like hodgepodge this armor together from a bunch of different pieces. It doesn't even necessarily have anything to do with Darkhawk. That was just literally like the helmet that he found. But he's out for blood against Darkhawk. How did you track me here? And I hate when I do that. There we go. And Darkhawk, what the fuck? And it doesn't matter. If I finish you here, I'll kill you. So Portal's got some sort of vendetta against Darkhawk. You don't really know why. The Hitman's hanging out in the shadows, like just thankful there's a distraction. Darkhawk tries to talk to him, talk some common sense into him, and Portal tells him, you won't live long enough to hear it, blah, blah, blah. So, Darkhawk throws up his shield, blocks the energy harpoon coming from Portal. They have a little exchange here. A little bit of fight. Nothing too bad. Darkhawk flips away his big gun. So it's a typical comic book fight. Chucks it out the window, probably for some kid to come grab him. Portal throws this little energy disc at him, which Darkhawk tries to block with his shield, but it separates and hits him, drops him. So, and then Portal comes up to rip his face off, which is, again, kind of a weird tactic since he's got a helmet on. Dark Force just blasts him with the Dark Force blast. They fight over near the Tyrannosauruses. They're basically just going back and forth saying, like, I hate you. And Darkhawk saying, like, well, I don't know who you are. And Portal won't give him any answers. So they continue to fight. And then an awesome moment of a little bit of stereotyping here. I'll go back one page here. Where is it? Now I forget, but Darkhawk says, my people. So the guy's an American Indian, just because somebody says he's my people, he assumes he's an American Indian. I mean, he's right, but yeah, I know. Like, Portal says my people in one of those panels, and Darkhawk's like, oh, well, since he said my people, he must be an Indian.
They say that in India?
America, like Indians here.
Yeah.
In America. Yeah, I guess. Like, my people. I don't know, but apparently they thought that. Anyways, so Darkhawk.
What do they mean Native American?
Yeah, that's what American Indian is.
Oh shit!
Cool. I can't wait for this to be on the internet.
I thought
I'm not going to edit that out.
An Indian person that's in America.
Yeah, it's a Native American / American Indian.
It's just very confusing because they're different parts of the world.
This next episode, we're going to talk about Christopher Columbus, and how he thought he found India instead of America. Anyways.
Yeah, but that's not accurate, though.
Moving on. Portal, landed trap for Darkhawk, shoots a slime of some sort at him that hardens and makes it hard for him to move. And then he tries to throw Darkhawk into a portal, a permanent tour of another dimension. But Darkhawk, chanks his way out, comes back out, hits him with Dark Force Blast, knocks his helmet off, and then he sees the face of Portal, and he's a kid about my age, or about his age, rather. And then he just happens to notice the Hitman trying to get away, jumps after him, grabs him, yeets him out the window, but they're on the first floor, so he just falls into the trees where he doesn't actually kill him. But, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's what superhero does. Yeah. So anyways, Darkhawk runs away. The cops are there, the museum cops. He transforms back to Chris, and oh snap, he's still shot. So what he discovers here, and it'll go into more on later panels.
Why is his blood blue?
It's because it's a comic for kids. They're not gonna have this be gushing red.
Oh,
that's what they do. But Chris is in the hospital with his mom. The important part here is, so even though Darkhawk heals when he switches bodies, Chris doesn't. So like if Chris gets shot, switches bodies with Darkhawk, and then comes back, he's not healed. But if he gets injured as Darkhawk and then switches bodies, Darkhawk's body heals. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you see Portal getting shipped off to go to the vault. It's a prison for super criminals, by the way. And then kind of odd down here in the notations, that's where they say Portal is Charles Littlesky, last seen in Avengers 304. So he's made an appearance before as Charles Littlesky, but not as Portal, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's weird.
When he was a kid?
I mean, he's still kind of a kid. He's like younger, teenager.
Like a
yeah.
little kid.
Yeah, and then up here it says, this portal was the center of battle between the Avengers, Puma, and the UFOs not long ago. Those are other Marvel characters. Anyways, moving forward, at the Pal's home the next day, they got a cop standing duty out there. And then Chris and Grace have a moment here, like, he hears a crash. And you're like, what happened? Did somebody know? Nothing happened. I'm just so edgy. I dropped the dishes. It's nothing really. It's like, oh, Chris, I'm so scared for all of us. And Chris is like, Mom, easy. He's like, I warned you once to move away from New York. You didn't listen. You tried to hurt my family. I'm coming here for you, Philippe. And one way or the other, Darkhawk will make you pay. And so he's going to go after Bazin for threatening his family. And that sets up for the next issue, Darkhawk versus Bazin plus Captain America, Daredevil, and the UFOs. So that is everything for Darkhawk issue 5. Introduction to Portal. It sets up a little bit more for the Bazin Darkhawk, which has been the main protagonist-antagonist relationship. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to Darkhawk Talk. And until next time, stay dark.